here at Bellevue Community Gardens. We're up in Bellevue today. I drove Alexa up to work just because it's a really long drive for her from Tacoma, especially when you have two people, you can use that carpool lane. So we did that today. Went and hung out at the coffee shop, worked on some YouTube videos, and then we're gonna go and walk the Bellevue Community Gardens here. They have a little coffee shop here. They've got plants everywhere, and spring is sprung for sure. Okay, so they have a lot of walking paths around here and kind of themed areas with plants. One of the cool things is that they have these QR codes that you can scan. I'll show you here. And it tells you all about the plants. You just scan it with your phone and then just click on the QR code and it brings you up to a web page where you can click on the plants that this is surrounding. And then it's a good way to learn just about the plants and about the area around it. There are tons of plants here, just so many that, you know, there's not enough QR codes for all these plants. But I do use this app. It's called Leaf Snap. I can just scan a leaf, a flower, or the entire plant. And it's usually pretty good at identifying which one it is. I'm gonna go towards the Yao Garden here. They also have a ravine suspension bridge, which I've been on a couple of times. It's a suspension bridge and it's pretty bouncy, so it's fun to cross. It's usually kind of people like to take photos over there, so we try to give people their space while they do it, and then there's usually sometimes a line just to get onto it because everyone wants to take their photos. But we'll go see and check it out. I mentioned this before, but their community gardens are free to the public and there are no dogs allowed, unfortunately, but it's kind of understandable. Just don't want them running through the plants here. Also, the other cool thing is there is a side exit to these community gardens, and I believe these are some apartment buildings over here, so that'd be pretty cool to kind of live there and then be able to just come into your backyard. Okay, we made it to the bridge. And there's actually no one on it right now. So I'm gonna get on it. Oh, there's someone actually coming from the other direction. But it's a pretty big ravine. I'd say it's, I don't know, 30, 40 feet down, maybe 30. But it's definitely bouncing, which is the fun part. I'll show you down here. We actually had to pass a field trip of kids. They're gonna probably be down here shortly. They're probably like the ages of 3 and 5, but they're over at one of the other art structures that they have here. I think it's called the Beehive. But really cool bridge. You can actually hear the birds out today, and it's really peaceful. So neat bridge, one of the attractions of the area, especially with just seeing all the plants as well. And they have a little creek down below the bridge. Someone left their shoe, very, very tiny shoe. Hopefully they come back and get it. Okay, so I ran back into the field trip group of kids again. It just reminds me because when I was growing up in Maui, we would go do field trips out into Iao Valley. And I have a really vivid memory of doing that one for some reason. It was gorgeous. Regardless, just one of the adults was asking the kids, oh, which way to the bridge? And then one of the kids says, oh, that way, and starts walking, and they're like, oh, you chose wisely. And it just reminds me of like being in school and you're like, oh man, I wish I had said that. Because you want like praise from, I was one of the kids that always wanted praise from the adults. You could say I was like always trying to go for that gold star that they always try to give. But yeah, I was not much of a rebel. Sometimes I wish I was a little bit more, but I digress. So I'll keep on walking here over to the garden. So this is a native discovery garden, as you can see by the sign. One of my hobbies that I had last summer was doing macro photography during the spring and summer. And I took a photo here of this plant here. It's the prairie smoke. I didn't actually know that was the name of it. But in this photo, they actually have an aphid, which is kind of cool because one of the macro photos that I took was with an aphid in it with dewdrops on it. And it was just really cool. But getting back to the native garden here, I believe this is the one that has the like water and or kind of like pond marsh-like area. They've got some statues over here. This statue kind of reminds me of, again, being in elementary school. Growing up in Maui, there was like a native garden there in our elementary school, and the school was really big about learning about Hawaiian culture. And we would go there, I think at least once a week, and they would have someone called a makua or a teacher to talk about the native plants and the respect to give to the garden. We would have to say a chant every time we entered. It was really, really beautiful. So this kind of reminds me of that a little bit, just the having the statue. I think they had a statue of an owl in it. And then I really like this kind of water over here as well. So we're in the Yao Japanese garden now. I read the little banner on the front there, and it was talking about how basically the way they built it is it's a traditional Japanese garden, but then they altered it a little bit by making it have a native northwest plant layout. It's got contemporary, and then the traditional, couldn't find the word there. But it's pretty cool. They've got a little pond in here. And then it just wraps around all the way, so you can do a walk around it. And I think they got some Japanese maples in here. See those? I always love looking at those. They've always got really nice colored leaves as well, the red Japanese maples. I think that's what they're called anyway. And yeah, so we'll continue on to the coffee shop, go get Alexa coffee, and then probably end our day there. Okay, so we made it to the coffee shop. We're gonna go get Alexa her coffee. Coffee shop closes in about half an hour. I've come sometimes and it's already closed. So it closes at about 2 p.m. So we're gonna get in there while it's still open and grab a coffee. Got our drinks. I got a Lucky Dragon. Alexa got creme brulee. Mine has, I think, some tangerine in it. It's pretty tasty. It's definitely a different type of coffee. So we're gonna go deliver one of these to Alexa, and then we'll head on home.